NATO is launching its largest ever Air Force deployment exercise today in Europe. The drills over German airspace are a display of unity against potential threats, such as Russia. About 10,000 soldiers and 250 aircraft from 25 NATO and partner countries are taking part in the two-week exercise called Air Defender 23. The drills this year involve the most number of participants in the alliance history. And while the exercise will primarily be held in Germany, it will extend to airfields in the Czech Republic, Estonia and Latvia. Well, let's bring in Trent Murray, who is joining us live from Berlin. Trent, it is difficult, isn't it, to ignore the timing of the exercise coinciding with Ukraine's counteroffensive as well as Russian nuclear weapons being placed in Belarus?
Yeah, it is. I mean, the timing is inescapable, really. This is a very public display of NATO's military might right at a time when we know that that war continues to rage here on the European continent. Now, what German officials will say is that this is a military exercise which is roughly 5 years in the planning. It was first conceived back in 2018, but of course, Europe looked very, very different back in 2018. What we are hearing from leaders here in Germany, but also the US, is that despite the fact that this is a hypothetical war game, one in which the Article 5 treaty is tested, effectively an attack on one being an attack on all, that this exercise with 250 aircraft involved will and is designed to send a very strong message of deterrence and one to any enemies out there of NATO, that the alliance is ready to respond in force. Now, what we do know is that some of the exercises taking place specifically include defending ground troops from the air, airborne battles against enemy jets, the interception of medium and long-range missiles by NATO bombers, as well as anti-submarine warfare. One interesting one which was added allegedly at a later stage of the planning was how to evacuate and defend an airfield. Now, we understand that was included after those chaotic scenes that we saw in Kabul in Afghanistan when the Taliban took over. We can all remember those pictures. It clearly did not go to plan for Western countries there. They want to try and practice all of that. But as you say, we know that it won't just be military planners here in Europe watching this very closely, but of course ones in Russia as well, with that very real war continuing to wage here. Tensions are very, very high. The US ambassador to Germany has been speaking in the past few hours about these exercises. She says these exercises will send a message that beyond a shadow of a doubt, NATO is agile and swift and ready to respond to any sort of attack as a first responder and as a show of force.
Trent Murray updating us on the significance of those NATO exercises. Thank you, Trent.